When Mulan said, "Your duty is to your heart," when she said, "My duty is to my heart,"
It all means nothing to you!
It means everything to me. My heart tells me my duty and I follow it.
Oh!
by no means was that an exaggeration of the truth of the way forward. At this point, at this moment in time, you are being called to honor, to navigate the complexity of how to hear your heart and how to build a life based on the internal calling that has always lived within you, how to manifest the dreams, the callings that have always lived in you, and not from a place of craving it, controlling, and trying to build it, but shifting into tapping into what the true underlying desire that has been lying dormant, or maybe that has been lying consciously, but feels like such a disconnect from where you really find yourself at now. In other words, you're being asked to take inventory of where you find yourself to be at right now that is hugely distant from where you think you wish to be. And instead of craving your way forward, structuring, controlling, thinking, strategizing your way forward, you're being asked to take inventory of where you've dishonored your being through choices of places you entertain, people you entertain, conversations you have, that is away from the true desire of your soul, of your heart, of your feelings. And it is only in taking that compassionate, graceful, non judgmental inventory of how and where you've been showing up will the clarity be birthed. Because even in the idea and the concept of the dream being so far away is an illusion. There is no such thing as continuity. We wake up every day and we continue the story that we've been telling ourselves. And in honoring your heart and your feelings, you get to wake up and decide. You get to wake up and decide, I shall be healed by the grace and the glory of the highest, divine, infinite spirit of the Most High. Unconditional love, unconditional peace, unconditional truth. And it is through that spirit, that energy, that I will grace myself the ability to step forth into a path of living in sovereignty, living in heart mind connection, living in the now moment. And how you activate that is simply through authenticity. And it's funny because when you're shifting from a mind based reality, when you're shifting from thinking your way, learning your way, strategizing your way, authenticity almost feels like a concept in itself that you have to figure out how to unravel. And authenticity is truly birthed just in being honest. Just in being honest, even in where you fall short, even in where you wish to express more of. Authenticity is actually birthed in you really deeply resonating in your feelings, the quote unquote good or bad feelings. That is where you will find yourself. Because the true point of life isn't to be or to force or to structure a certain thing, vision, concept. The point of being is to be you. And what happens in the unfolding and the becoming of being you. Yeah, I know for so long that concept didn't make sense to me. I thought I had to go out into the world, try a bunch of different modalities in which I would then find my authenticity. Try on different waves of culture, try on different ways of being. But it all just leads back to you. Your life, your very existence is quite literally a blank canvas. Every micro choice, every micro thought is literally you constructing and painting your way through the canvas to create the art. But in every now moment, the canvas is complete. What's being presented to me at this time is that thinking that the end product of the canvas is the art, but the actual art is The feeling of putting one color and then another color and pushing the paintbrush this way and that way, all of that is the art in the moment. But if you or I are disconnected from that experience and we just focus on when the canvas is finished, then the art is great. Then we rob ourselves of every now moment of remembering that our duty is to our heart, and all the heart ever asks for is stillness and presence. That is all it ever asks for. From that stillness and presence, what you will find in those moments is true, innate, benevolent desire. And then from your benevolent desire, your real life unfolds. And for so long, I did not trust stillness. I actually did not trust that stillness could bear any fruit. One of my mentors taught me the saying, and this is not the reason to elect stillness, but one reason for me to allow myself to experience stillness was the saying that rest is a revenue generating experience. Rest is a revenue generating experience. And it doesn't have to be only monetary revenue, but when you truly surrender to rest, you allow enough landing space for the divine to bring in all of the opportunities that are all times floating around to just land. When you find moments of stillness, of rest, you cultivate enough stillness for that landing pad to be used. But I kept thinking, if I rest, I'm being lazy. If I rest, I'm going to fall behind. If I rest, I'm going to fall off. If I rest, I'm not being productive. If I rest, time is just going to go by. And all you create from those thoughts is chaos. Actually conceiving the idea that time is running out, time is going by, you actively create overwhelm. If you doubt your ability to rest, you actively create hesitation. And when you create hesitation, you are creating a big whirlpool of lack. Because when you hesitate, you are unsure. And if you're unsure, you're doubting. And if you're doubting, doubt is a huge reservoir that feeds lack. And if you perceive that you lack anything because you're doubting, because you're hesitating, all there is that is good for you absolutely cannot land. It literally cannot land. It's like the ocean and then there's a giant whirlpool and you're telling God, okay, but just give me a yacht. Like just put a yacht on the ocean. And God is like, if I put the yacht on the ocean, there's a giant whirlpool of lack that's going to suck it into the vortex and send it down to the bottom of the ocean. But you're like, okay, but please. And I'm speaking from personal experience. It's so funny. Hindsight is such a beautiful thing. And so you're being invited in this moment to use your hindsight not for pattern recognition against yourself, but pattern recognition to hold yourself. Ooh. When was the last time you held yourself and cherished yourself and played in childlike wonder and saw the world in a new way? When was the last time you held joy in your body, in your nervous system? I invite you into this practice with me right here, right now. Just indulge. Take a deep breath. Just allow yourself to slow down just for a moment. Connect with your breath in this present moment. And say out loud, body, show me what it feels like to feel joy in my nervous system now. And for me, in this moment, asking my body to show me what joy feels like in my nervous system, it felt like elevation, it felt like stillness, and it felt like light. I felt a lightness move into my heart space and spread across my chest. And so, for me, in this moment, joy is presenting itself that way. And for us to conceptualize joy as only being one thing, like joy is this happy, high vibrational, fast moving, laughter, light, is to limit the multidimensionality of all aspects of life. Life is fundamentally so multidimensional. Think about you as one person and how layered and complex you are, and how happiness can actually feel like different things on different days. So, even in asking joy to present itself in your body, might be different from how joy shows up in your life. So, for me, joy today is showing up in my body as stillness, elevation, and light. Ooh, and a little bit of release. I'm hearing yes. I'm feeling a yes in my body. Thank you, Joy, for electing to show up in my being at this time. And so I'm curious if you're willing to invite more of these parts of the human experience into your body. We are already so familiar with overwhelm, overthinking, feeling down, feeling lost, feeling confused, feeling depressed. But that state of being is only a response to your body telling you that it is missing. It feels you're feeding it lack, and you think that you lack all the joy, happiness, elation, and cherishing of your being. So, in just asking your body to show you these experiences, you are cherishing yourself. You are cherishing life by appreciating that your body has the ability to tap in, tune in, turn on these vibrations and these frequencies of being. And if you're someone who has experienced extensive trauma, grief, rage, repression, abandonment, I truly invite you to connect deeper with your body, and I truly invite you to do it guided. I do offer support. If that's something you're interested in, I would be honored to support you on your journey forward. But deeper than that, look at your contraction and be curious as to what it is showing you. What I've come to understand about all emotions, right? Energy in motion, emotional states of being that are responding to your feelings. So let's say you're feeling anger. What I've noticed is any emotional state is actually that being, that spirit, that energy, that manifestation of what it is asking to be held and witnessed. That is it. And I love the movie Inside Out for the personification of emotions and how they show up and what they wish to experience with you. They're not trying to hurt you. For example, you feel anger. And let's say, because the last session that I just had with my client, for her, anger was a rock. So let's say anger is a rock to you, and you pick up this red rock and it's sharp on one side of it, has jagged edges on the other side of it, it's really hot, but it's asking you, you've stumbled across it and you pick it up and you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this rock has jagged edges, and it is just asking you to witness it, to look at it, to hold it, to observe it, to feel what it makes you feel as you look at it. Embody the experience it's calling out of you, whether it's curiosity, whether it's creation. It's this red rock. Do you want to make red chalk by crushing parts of the red rock and making something from it? Or do you wish to witness it and place it back down? Instead of what we all do, look at the rock of anger, say, oh my gosh, this rock is so crazy. I've never seen a rock like this. I'm just going to hold on to this rock because I don't know what this rock is going to create. I'm just going to put it in my pocket. And like maybe later on, I'll look at the rock. But right now, I don't have time to look at this rock. But it's a really cool rock. I'm kind of like scared by it, but also intrigued. I'm just going to put this rock down and just keep going. And then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to sit on the rock. And then I'm going to complain that the jagged edges of the rock are literally poking me in the butt. And I'm like, why does my butt hurt? Because this rock is absolutely tearing me to shreds with its jagged edges. And so that is one example of what we are doing to emotions. Instead of witnessing and creating, we are holding on, repressing, and then blaming, and then asking, why is this hurting so much? When you've put a red rock that has jagged edges and a hot side and whatever else it contains in your pocket, and you are carrying it everywhere you go. And so, in this moment, look at how emotions show up for you. Emotions could be a metaphorical person, it could be, let's say, sadness feels like a rain cloud. What does the literal emotion feel like to you? Give it a personification and then liaise with it, connect with it, speak to it, ask it what it is asking from you, and find practices that help you release. For me, when I'm feeling deep, deep yearning, sadness, or grief, I love to take a salt bath. And I have a bottle of ocean water. I put some ocean water, I put the salt water, Celtic salt, and I sit and I purify and I cry and I cleanse. When I'm feeling curious, I love to open my book and I journal. And I have learnt recently from Danielle Lynn, I love her. More and more each day, I am creating space for clarity to find me. So ask yourself what your prompt is. More and more each day, I am creating space for my dream life, my dream experience, my dream way of feeling as me to land. Because if you're holding on to that red rock, friend, I hate to break it to you, you have no space for you to experience who you truly are. And so that brings us to the closing of this message. If you've been feeling lost, the answer is inside you. And if that is feeling so complex, just trust that it will make sense to you when it's meant to make sense to you. And if it makes sense to you right here, right now, and you're looking for deeper support, I have a community of like minded souls that we are building slowly, brick by brick. You can also work one to one with me or hop on an alignment call and see how you can best support yourself at this time in your journey. And so I leave you with that, dear soul. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.